Welcome everyone to another episode of Ripping On. Our returning guest Rob, and we will be joined by LSF. Basically, LSF's job will be to keep Rob in check while we do our discussions, and let's hope it's fun. All right, so Rob, let me just explain to everyone what we're doing. This is our second episode that we're doing together, and basically, in the first one, I was getting to know how your brain functions, how you see your God, and all that kind of stuff. And now that I've had enough time to assess all the information that you've given me, I'm gonna now run through a bunch of questions that I actually have for you that were created via the discussion that we had. And I'm gonna keep you on track by having you answer my questions without you going off too far deep end, and LSF will keep you on track also, just in case I am unable to. Sounds good, Rob?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, so my first question to you is, do you lie to yourself?
Knowingly and unknowingly all the time. Yeah.
Can you distinguish between a lie to yourself or not?
Well, yeah. Post hoc, So pre hoc, you can have a knowing lie to yourself. Oh, I'm definitely going to do that. You know deep down you're not going to do it, or at least you're fully aware of the possibility. And then after the event, a post hoc realization that you were lying to yourself was when you really truly believed yourself, and you didn't do it anyway.
Okay.
Ipso facto, must have been a lie.
Okay, sounds good. Do you think you lied to me during our first encounter?
100% not.
So everything you said you believed in our first encounter?
Yeah, so I definitely am in the position of unknowingly lying to you.
Unknowingly lying to me. Interesting. Do you think you have a complete understanding on what your God is?
No, no one does.
Okay. Do you think you can speak for your God?
As I allow him to speak for himself through me, yes.
And can you tell me how he does this?
By me allowing that which is not from me to speak through me, and
How do
I am as
you
much observant of that.
Okay, how do you know the difference between allowing itself to speak through you or you speaking for said thing?
Um, so a couple of times in that last discussion, you'd have noticed that I paused, right?
Okay.
So usually in those moments, I accept that I do not know, and I'm calling out for that answer which is true, and then it comes out. I can be as much an observer of that event as you. The only difference is that I have full confidence that that which has been given to me, not through my own agency, but is an emergent property of that which is in me, which I accept as God, is
Do you
revealing the truth.
Okay, that's fine. Do you think you have
Yeah.
an internal voice or do you think everything just comes from an outside source via your religious beliefs?
No, like I described before, those couple of times when you'd asked a particular question, which within myself I was like, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know where he's coming from. And so I just clear my mind and I point myself to God. And then, so it's an experience, right, of that logos, right?
Oh,
When it was a simple thing as based as love, like, what's the answer? And you're like, my mind goes blank and I'm like, I've got nothing. No, I know it's true though. What is it? And it's love. Post
okay,
event,
so
yeah, you'll go, yeah, that is the correct answer. I know that because, yeah, it has come
okay,
through me.
so here's the problem.
Yeah.
The mere fact that you're incapable of distinguishing an internal dialogue with yourself and the mere fact that you believe that it's God speaking to you is very, very disturbing. So I'm gonna now go into a little more difficult questions. Rob,
That would be
if
a
you're
claim.
pardon? Rob,
Um, LSF, you can cut in any time, but of course, I am making the distinction, which is correct, right? That I don't think that all dialogues that are revealed in me and come out through me are of
okay,
myself.
Rob, have
Yeah,
you
I'm not
ever,
Hang on,
schizophrenic.
Rob,
Rob. Okay, I
Rob,
will. I will then. So, may I start? They, Rob, you said that you clear your mind and you know God, you hear God, you can speak the words for God. How does that actually take place?
It's an aspect of will. I mean, this is nice actually because it's probably getting right into what Bad Star was wanting to know about before. What's your experience of God?
Well, slow down. So you said will. So what, do you will it to happen?
No, I receive my will and allow that will, which I know to be true.
What's
Space.
true? Hang on. What's true about will?
Well, this of course would be the meditations of many hours, months, and years of allowing your ego to retract in those circumstances when it most tightly grips. So let's say you're in a debate, a conversation, and you yourself are put under the spotlight and you are not sufficient in your conception of it, right? Well, this would very much be an ego bound experience. And so there's meditations that you can do. I'm not saying this is only Christianity, but in which you withdraw yourself from that object subject relationship.
Okay, well,
And you
I know
allow
what
that.
meditation. So you're describing
Yeah.
meditation. Yeah, clear your mind, deep breathing, etc. So your
Not deep
meditation.
breathing. No, it would be
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Rob. It's meditation.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Just so it's called meditation. That's what you're describing. Is that fair?
Well, meditation is what you use to train yourself to do that which is required in those circumstances.
Okay.
So,
When you trained yourself, were you suddenly
yeah.
able to do it, or were you able to do it a small amount at a time? The communication with God.
Yeah, I'd say it's something that you grow into. There's a common phrase, isn't there? The less you are, the more you'll be. And I think
I've
this
never
is
heard
very much.
that phrase. Yeah, I've never heard
Oh,
that phrase.
yeah, okay.
Anyway,
But
okay. All right.
yeah. Well,
That's
this
okay.
is
Just
this
wanted to
is
check,
one of
Rob.
these. Yeah, yeah. So this is one of those things to put your mind to know that in withdrawing yourself, in making yourself humble within yourself, you can allow that which is beyond yourself to reveal
I
itself.
agree with you, then, Rob. If I agree with you, you had to have gone into that. Were you expecting what, Buddha or Allah or any of the others, or were you actually expecting God? Because you seem to have found God, and you were born into a Christian country, and you were a Christian before, and you found
No.
the same God again.
Yeah, yeah.
When you
I mean,
thought
we've
about it
spoken a lot.
when you thought about it using your will and found God, your God, the Christian God.
Well, I found it by withdrawing my will, by putting myself
You
in the
gave yourself
center.
up. So did God announce himself
Yeah.
as God? How did you know it was that specific God?
When you get that real ego issue where you think if you really give something up of yourself, then you'll
No,
die.
I don't know.
You'll not.
No, I don't know that, Rob. I asked you a
You've
question.
never experienced that. Okay.
No,
Well,
no, I
talking to
haven't.
other people.
I
Yeah.
didn't ask you about other people. I asked you.
Yeah. Well, this is my experience
Did
that I
did
have
it
shared.
somehow identify itself as your God? How did you know that it was the Christian God and not another God?
That would be a question relevant probably after the first. It wouldn't be able to be incorporated.
Sorry, what's the first question?
The first question is, how did you, if I remember it right, how did you experience the withdrawal of yourself from yourself?
No, I didn't say any of those
Reveal.
words. Did
Those
I
words
say
never
how
came
did
from your
you
Oh,
mouth.
that's what
experience?
I was.
Yeah, Rob, you're
That,
making things up because I didn't say that. I'll let Bad Star
well, that's
take
fine.
it.
I asked you to
Okay.
correct it, and you didn't.
Okay.
That's fine.
So we're gonna try and understand this. You're saying by giving up your
Yeah.
ego, you were able to hear something within you that told you it was a god, right?
So
I need it to be
when
short.
you take,
I don't want you to
yeah,
create something in your mind now. I want you to just give me a kind of
yeah,
like,
exactly. No,
okay,
it's, yeah. I mean, I explained it the
this is
first
how I
time, so
understood it.
anything
I
now
understood
is
it. You
going
gave
to
up
be, yeah.
your ego, and via giving up your ego and
Well,
via meditation in some way or some form, you were
I mean,
able to
I'm not
hear.
Buddha. I have ego. You know, I am me. Um, but
I'm
there are
saying
efforts. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying you did it to whatever extent that you needed to be able to hear this internal voice of some sort that
Mhm.
was able to communicate with you, and
Yeah.
it explained to you that it was some sort of god, right?
Uh huh.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
No, I'm not worried about reducing it. So like, do you play sports, Bad Star?
no.
No. Do you enjoy like physical activity in any way that I don't know if it's juggling or something
Yeah,
like
sure.
anything like that?
Yeah,
Right,
sure.
right. Something that you work on and you right
Mm-hmm.
and you develop this method,
Mm-hmm.
right, which becomes reliable. So let's say you're juggling, right, and then something within that goes wrong,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you just act, right. You're not consciously developing it, right? And so you do something and you even impress yourself, right? Because you did it almost unconsciously.
Yes. So you are talking about something that a lot of people experience, right? You drive a lot?
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So have you ever noticed that sometimes you can drive to a place without even ever thinking about it? I
All the
believe there's
time.
an actual
Yeah.
terminology for it. I can't remember what it is at the moment.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Yeah.
Okay, so you're describing that in whatever means or whatever performance activity that you're doing, where you literally become so accustomed to it that it's being done automatically without your brain even processing it.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying you're going through that as your meditation process, is that it?
Well, I'm saying that experience that you've had is for me anyway an adequate simile to that experience with God. Let's say in the logos as a communication. In that when you withdraw yourself, you're in automatic mode. There is something that occurs within yourself, which is something which you within yourself can observe, right? But have to honestly accept that it wasn't from causal, um, conscious agency.
Uh,
So here it
I
would
Hasan,
be fine to
okay,
go,
we're gonna
Rob,
stop
I
you. We're
think
gonna stop you
you're
before you
God.
we're gonna stop you before you
Uh-huh.
continue. LSF, what did you have to say?
well, Robert, you said something that's not from causal. Did you mean something that's subconscious?
So I was going to say what you guys could claim now, in your belief of that phenomena that I experienced, that it is quite simply you allowing your subconscious to take priority.
Robert, you don't allow your subconscious to do things. That's why it's called your subconscious. It's not conscious. It's not a conscious act.
But if
Actions.
you withdraw your conscious act and allow, like you say, how do we
I
explain
would be
then the
withdrawing my
driving,
act
driving to
consciously.
a destination?
Robert, I would be withdrawing any act I intended to commit consciously.
Hmm.
I can't.
Right. So you consciously withdraw your ego, right?
It's
I
got
know we were
nothing
in the
to do with
conscious
my ego.
unconscious.
Okay,
I don't
so
know why do you
wait,
keep deferring to
I
Freud?
think hold on a second, LSF. I think you're mixing certain things up. So the thing about it is you're saying you're withdrawing your consciousness in some way, right? You're saying that you are retracting whatever, right? Is that what you're saying,
Well,
Rob?
in consciously retracting, yeah, my ego, my reactiveness in the moment, and taking myself out of it,
Okay, so
appears.
I'm gonna
Okay.
explain it as best as how I understand it, right? You're literally
Yeah.
what I see you're doing is you're willfully becoming oblivious to certain things, right? in a way.
That's a
I'm pretty
nice
sure
way.
they.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, oblivious is strong, but yeah,
It's
I'd go with
strong.
that.
It might not have been the right word, but it's the one that just came to mind as I'm saying it. You're doing that, and in that process, that's what you're sensing, right? Is that a
Yeah,
best?
passivity. Yeah, passivity of yourself
Okay,
in the
so
situation.
it's okay. So how I'm understanding this now is that it's an awareness thing. You are literally shutting off an awareness factor inside of your brain via your meditation, which is what meditation is all about, right? So yet again, with all of that, let's say you're willfully becoming self-aware, not lessening your awareness to your situation and our surroundings and all that kind of stuff, right? We're gonna say that's what meditation is, right? Now, how does that translate into something speaking to you and showing itself to be a god?
We'll go into another in that it reveals itself without you.
Oh,
You know,
okay. So how?
literally that.
I just need to know how it does this with you. Don't take anyone else's experience into consideration. How
Mhm.
does it do this to you? And like, please be as detailed as possible, but do not give me a huge story.
Rob, does it become clear to you at some point during the meditation? It must somehow.
Well, no, this is where we're saying
So how does it,
meditations might be
how does
something
it
that I do
manifest as
by
knowing
myself.
what God wants and words of God? How does it get to that understanding of it? And what is it saying?
There is quite literally an object subject relationship internally in which the object, right, that which is not yourself, is a subject in itself, which reveals that which wasn't in you.
Right, Rob.
Right?
This is what you do, Rob. All this that is not in you. It reveals that is not. I doesn't make any sense when you stick all those
Well,
words
that's
together.
fine, but Black, I'm just sticking with what Bad Star was saying. He said, say it exactly
Okay,
how you experience it, precisely without a long story.
Okay.
That was it.
that you are turning it into a long story.
Okay.
You're
So
just not
so
able to say how this thing is revealed to you, or what the truth, or the words, or what the meaning is. It's simply you are. I think you're making it fit with what you already know from the book.
That would be a suspicion of yours.
It would, yeah.
okay. Okay. We'll end that little part there for a second. Okay. So now, how do you know that it's telling you the right answers?
Well, this is this. It's this post hoc thing, isn't it? It's by the result of that which was revealed. You know. So, like I say, if you were juggling and something happened and your body reacted before you could consciously do it, and the result was good, this would be a similar thing. In that, apart from yourself, something was revealed
One
that
second. One
What
second.
some act.
was
1 second.
revealed?
Okay, wait before you jump in, LSF. 1 second. Are you talking about a physical reaction? I'm asking about when it tells you things and you decide to use whatever it tells you. I'm asking about how do you know that is the right thing? Not anything about
Well,
the physical aspect, because the
by the
physical we don't care
result
about.
of the by the result, because you're trying to say, but it's unconscious, so it's basically you, Rob, and you're going, well, you can make that
Rob,
claim, of course,
don't
but
jump to
if you're talking to
conclusions just
somebody,
yet. Just
no,
try
no,
and give
we're
me an
not.
answer.
Okay, you've got to be a little less tighter, right? So when you're having a conversation with someone, though you may
Mhm,
expect a response or,
mhm,
or some particular, they may respond to you in a way that in and of itself reveals a truth or a perception or a concept, whatever, really, but
mhm.
it came apart from you in a
Okay.
relationship, including you. It's very much like this. So you could go, this might be just some construct that's been reinforced by your relationship through communication in a species which is highly communicative and conceptual. So you could say this is just a shadow. Now you could go into that, but as the experience is for me, it seems very much not. My life experience without God is very much different to that with God. So I have an unprovable self-experience truth,
Robert, okay,
of before and after.
Rob, you've gone off. So how was it different before than after?
Well, I didn't have that relationship before. It was not
how
something that
was it?
existed.
No, I didn't ask if you had a relationship. I said, how was it different?
Well, it was non-existent before LSF.
So what is different now? What's existent now?
It exists.
What exists?
God within me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, I'm pretty captivated by what you're saying because you're going to have to prove this to us now. So here's the thing. We've only encountered each other twice, and this is the second encounter, right? Now, you're saying that you're able to communicate via this meditation process and you're able to reveal truth, or it's able to reveal truth to you. So I'm the perfect example of an individual who you've never really interacted with other than the first time, and now I would like for you to reveal a truth to me. Is that possible? Do you think you're capable of doing that? Even if it takes a couple of minutes, I will even edit the time frame from when we start to when you answer. I will cut it out if necessary. But do you think you're able to do that right now with us? You have myself and you have Lsf, who I know you've encountered with. Do you think you could do it?
Well, I mean, I'm always insufficient. God is always sufficient. If there is a truth that can be revealed, and He wills to reveal it through me, then it will be revealed. Yeah.
All right. So we will start it.
But I do not know.
Okay, but there is you say there it's possible for it to speak through you by giving you a sensation of some sort of the truth. So now I need you to be as honest as you can and do that for me now. Do you think it's possible?
Everything is possible with God. Yeah.
All right, perfect. I love that answer. So I'm going to start now. I would like you to reveal a truth that technically only your God would be able to speak through you to me. And I will let it be anything.
This is testing God, so it's a horrendous heresy.
Wait, 1 second.
The truth that you want to go for should be just. No, I wasn't saying don't do it. I was just saying that this is literally a wish, just in respecting religious beliefs.
Now you see. Now the funny thing I always notice. I agree, but you know what? The funny thing I always notice with people when it comes to that is that they always use the excuse that you're testing God, and it's not even a test in any shape or form. Now I asked you to give me anything, and that could be anything at all, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be something that I will be aware of now. It could be something in the past. It could be something completely oblivious that I will probably see later on today, if necessary. It could be absolutely anything, but within a reasonable time frame. So that's where it's not a test of your God. It's a simple truth that you're going to speak to me, and I will be the sole person it's supposed to react to, right? So it's not a test. It's a simple. It's as simple as saying, let's say,
that's correct.
Let's say, you remember the conversation we had earlier when I said God could have easily given us the circumference of the planet. He could have given us the distance to the sun, and it would only be knowledgeable until we discover it, right? So that's what I'm looking for. So, starting now, if necessary, yet again, would you like to try this?
Oh yeah, I'm always open.
All right. So
like you say, as the way that you're describing it, you're saying you're not actually trying to test God.
Yeah, it's an app.
So that would be yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, because I know religious people tend to say you can't test God and all this kind of shit. But yeah, go for it.
Well,
take as much time as you want. If you want to meditate, I'll give you like a certain amount of time.
Oh no,
within
it would
reason.
have to come from you. You see, like we'll have to, like you say, as
What?
many times as one. But if you're going,
Wait,
you know,
what? What do you mean it
otherwise
has to come from me?
it would just go. Oh well, that you're. See, this is a relationship, right? That we're in right now.
Uh-huh.
So I have the truth of which I'm satisfied. Now, that's not what we're asking for. I could say that all day.
No, definitely
We're
not.
asking for that which you are offering up, that you will perceive your own changed perception
No.
of through that which I reveal to you.
Nope. Now you see, you're doing this really weird dance that I'm not asking for. I'm asking you
Okay.
to take the moment to meditate and have whatever internal dialogue you have with whatever you have, and then to him to transmit
Okay.
information via to me that I'll be aware of later on. So it could be
So
I don't
that
know
is
why I'm even
that,
giving you an
well,
example, but
there is a
I'll
test,
hmm?
but
No, it's not a test. This is where I keep telling you I'm
what I
not
said is I'm
testing.
not rejecting it. I was just saying be cautious. I wasn't saying in
Exactly.
respect to.
So here, since it's
Me,
a very
not
okay, since it's very difficult for your mind to grasp the concept that I'm speaking of, which is kind of weird because I don't see why it would be that difficult. It would be as simple as black cat crossing your path, uh, a orange leaf falling before you or before my feet. It could be something as abstract as that, or even the whisper of the wind that sounds something. It could be anything of that sort.
okay. All right, then why do you think God can't love you?
Sorry.
Excuse me. What? What? What was that?
Ask me.
He doesn't even think his own girlfriend can love him.
Okay, wait.
No, did you say you can I second? Did you say you can test God or you can't test God?
Oh, you could, in the sense that you could test God in your intention of grounding Him.
I asked you
Mm-hmm.
if you can test God.
No.
You can't. What makes you think that you
No,
can't?
you can't. In the perception of what I believe God to be, it would be illogical to say that you can test God.
Theologically,
Mm-hmm.
can you test
Yeah.
God?
No.
You can't. How do you know you can't?
Well, to test something, right? If we're going into instrumentalism, right? To test something is
I'm
to.
not going into instrumentalism.
Okay.
So why is it that you cannot test
how
God?
do you test something?
I don't care how you test it. I want to know if you think that you should not test it, and you've got that information from theology.
Well, it's simple. You should not, because you cannot. As in, you should not walk off the building because you cannot fly.
So is the dogma or whatever it is you hold to?
Yeah, it's a dogma. But it's one that's backed up.
Is it to not test God?
Yeah, and then you go, why, right? And it would be like, why would you walk off a cliff to test gravity?
I know you wouldn't go why. I asked you a question, so if it was me, I'm the one who will then go why. Okay, this is how it works. So I have your Bible in front of me. Is the Holy Spirit the same as God?
It's not my Bible.
It's
God Word 3.
Sorry,